All right, it's Sunday night, and so tonight is sticking it to the man Sunday night. So I wanted to record this video tonight, even though I'm a little discouraged because I did a video which I thought was really cool and nobody's watching it. But I thought I would do a video tonight on like the importance of not going after returns after or even like maybe 6 months before retirement. I know it's tempting and we're so used to the S&P 500 going up, but it's just so important to balance your investments so that when the stock market goes down, it doesn't rattle your cage. So, if you know, I'm going to title this video, I lost $100,000 in, let's see, February, March, April, in 3 months, which I did. So, if you look at my total overall, I mean, just mine, I'm not including my wife's stuff in this. Um, on April 21st, which is as of now, this is just a few days ago, I had $1,353,000 in my accounts. Now, if you'd gone back 3 months before, you'd see I had 1,480,000. So I lost $127,000 from February, March, April in 3 months. So that on the surface, that looks pretty devastating, right? But it's not devastating for me. And I'll tell you why. Is because if you look at what my total assets are, I forego a lot of returns. So I could have my entire portfolio sitting in the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq, and when things are going up, I'd have been feeling really good. And to be honest with you, because I didn't have everything in here when the market was going up, I was a little bit bummed. But as of recently, with market instability or volatility, I've been really happy because it doesn't rattle my cage. And the reason it's not rattling my cage is because I make sure that I have a high amount of stuff that's in assets that aren't volatile, like the stock market. So if you look, this is like my total portfolio. I have a video on this that actually uses the spreadsheet. So if you look at my older videos, you'll see I go over this in depth. But if you see I'll have real safe assets, right? So I have bank accounts in here, which is a whole nother video why you should build up cash before you retire for healthcare and things like that. But you'll see I have those are considered safe. My wife's 403b has some guaranteed fixed. My stuff has fixed in it. So you'll see in my money market account, I have like 500,000. My Wellesley fund, I have 61,000. I think I lost like 1,500 in that too. But you'll see if you look down here, oops, at the bottom right, that's about $855,000 in safe assets. So when I go down 150,000, and believe me, it went down fast. You could see February to April. Knowing that I have these accounts that are just churn and burn, man, they're just cranking out 4 or 5%. When I see those big drops, it doesn't bother me. And even in the video, what I did is I took all my total safe and low, which you can see here, and I said, listen, with Beth working with, and that also helps a lot, but it wouldn't change the plan that much. With her working, I only need like 40,000 a year out of my investments. And she's going to work for a couple more years. When she stops working, I'll need 90,000. But that gives me almost on my safe and low assets 11 years, 11.7 years. And the key is like when you look at my right capital, I'm still nailing like 85% of success rate. So I'm giving up returns, but I'm getting safety. And believe me, when you're not making any money anymore, and I haven't gotten a paycheck for about 13 months, it makes a big difference. So I can't emphasize enough as you approach retirement, you want to look at it and say, listen, I want to make sure that portfolio won't impact my retirement date. So you're going to want to think like probably a year before start making your moves, you know, because you're going to have to ask yourself once you get into that mentality of I want to retire, if you hit something like this and you lost, I would have lost in my portfolio before I did all this changing around. It wouldn't have been 130. It would have probably been like 320,000. And it would have probably been so much that mentally I wouldn't want to retire. So you just want to make sure. I know it's a fear of missing out, FOMO, where you're like, oh, I can get all these returns and it looks so good when the money's going up. But once you've won, stop playing the game. Because I'm telling you, you're going to feel so much better when, when those markets go down. And I've been seeing videos of people who, who just always thought it was going to go up. And now they're talking about having to go back to work because they had too much allocated in the S&P 500. So again, I'm showing you real numbers. I'm showing you what I do. You can even pause it and take a look at this. Um, but it's critical. I mean, I'm not going to kid. You're going to be feeling a little bummed some days when the S&P 500 is cranking it and you're not. But believe me, you're going to feel, you remember the hard times when the S&P 500 or whatever your stock, whatever you're invested in, because I have stuff in NASDAQ too, you feel it a lot more when it's going down. Then you remember the going down more than you remember the going up. So if you've won, stop playing the game. So I'm putting out this reminder just to remind you, not a financial advisor, but I'm retired, and I'd love to see more people retire and gain control of their lives. But it does take some work, takes some effort, takes some self discipline. This is one of those self discipline items where you have to forego some of your returns for safety. So have a great night. It's Sunday, sticking it to the man. So I'm going to probably even stay up a little later than this because it's Sunday night. I used to always have to go to bed. Now I don't have to. I can stay up a half hour later. So have a great day, and remember, safety when you get really close to it to starting your retirement, especially once you're in retirement, is way more important than gains. So have a good night.